If you could send that over, please.
Good evening. We're at the Turner County Commissioners meeting. This is the workshop session. You see, here's your agenda. You can pause it if need be. Eric Richter is chairman of the Airport Authority. Daniel Hampton is with the RDC out of Valdosta. He's in charge of the transit program. That's the bus service that takes people. Mr. Hobby Rhodes, Christy Casimiro, she's our library manager. And you have these other things there. There you go. That's your agenda. We'll have the write-up in next week's paper. And of course, you're watching the video, so you know it's online. Thank you.
Where'd I sit in that? You'll see. I feel this out every year.
They need to sign it.
You bring this, you bring that, and we'd each have a drinking party. Somebody asked me something about that. Man, I'm feeling Jerry Glanville. I've been through the thing.
But I mean, it starts at 6. Look, you know, it's going to 7:30. You got about
But I don't see it.
Who was that? Good job.
I get through it.
I knew it was.
You've been down there.
So get back in here, pretend. They come in. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing
That's
that.
right. We are John Deere tractor. Got stuck down in sand.
All right, it's 6 o'clock. I'll call this meeting to order. Ben, would you come up to the invocation, please?
Lord, we just thank you for this day, just everything you've given us, everything you've kept away. It's all a blessing, and we count it as such, Lord. As we come before you today, we are mindful of the tragedy in our community that has harmed both families on both sides. We just pray your blessings and your strength upon them, Lord. Be with them as they go through this. Lord, watch over our farmers, keep those in public safety in the palm of your hand. And as always, as this board meets, we ask you to grant them the wisdom to do the right thing in your sight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, before we adopt the agenda, we have a couple of changes. Mr. Richter will not be here tonight, but I would like to add Mr. Chris Warren of Worldwide Trucking. So, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda with those changes?
Second.
All in favor? Is there any public comments regarding agenda items? No? All right, our first speaker is Mr. Chris Warren of Worldwide Trucking. Major first. You can stand there if you like, or. makes you comfortable.
It's all good this way. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight and working me in. A little over a year and a half ago, I presented a program for your dump trucks. I'm here to report how that went, and if you have any specific questions before I start, I'd be more than happy to ask right away, or anything good there. The initial selling price was $216, and I'm referring to my notes to make sure I tell you exactly right. $216,913, and both of them sold for $215 each. It was a little bit of an off year. Typically during COVID, obviously, that's not what we were looking at. The pendulum had swung way, way, way high. And I think we've overcorrected a little bit. The market had been correcting. This time it was a little under typically where we are. And the next year, in the next auctions, I can come back and every quarter or so they have an auction, I can give you those prices and show you how they're doing as well. The trucks themselves, I actually was approached about bringing more of them to the auction because they typically don't get the spec that you guys have chosen to run. People in Georgia tend to run without the drop axle, and those two went quick. They got fought over, and it was a really good auction. 4 trucks did well in that auction this time, and all 4 of them were from Georgia, and 2 of them were yours. So everyone else kind of with different setups was a little bit of an off year, a little bit of an off time. It seemed like, but your trucks did exceptionally well actually. I don't know if you have any specific questions, but
What did we pay for it?
$216,913. Yes, sir.
What we sell it for?
$215.
So that's
1-year-old truck. Yes, sir. Yes, it's good, but it can be better. And typically, it's a little better. Not much, but a little. Sir?
So that's good.
Yeah. But I shoot for better. I've also taken some measures, if I can go ahead and say, for what I'm presenting this year, we were able to, not to take up too much time, but this program, like I presented before, has been around for over 30 years. Our company started it. And in Kentucky, where it originated from, they've set up an office called KCOs, Kentucky Association of Counties. And I've worked over this last year and finally got the approval through MAC that I can do mine as well. The Kentucky has an office and an actual staff person, and they actually sell through Kentucky. Our problem here was the laws in Georgia. Having to navigate that would have taken years and a bunch of money. But Mac helped me out and allowed me to kind of set up a vote in the computer. So now I have this Georgia Association of Counties is what I call it. So when I put you in, I actually get about anywhere from 2 to 4% off, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that translates to anywhere from $2,500 to about $4,800 off a truck. So I was able to drop the price even more this year as well. And I believe it was $214 something. So we actually got lower on the price and held pricing and got it lower actually, because typically we see a price increase every year from all the OEMs, not just Mac. So it's in a better position this year to do even better. Any other questions?
I'm proud to know you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker, I didn't see him come in, Mr. Hamilton.
He's not-
Excuse me, Hampton. I didn't
He's
see
not
him come in.
He's not here.
He's not here, okay. Mr. Drew Hobby.
Good evening, everybody. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Drew Hobby, born and raised right here in Turner County, lived here all my life. Graduated in class of '94, right here in Turner County. I'm 49 years old. The last 25 years, I've been working in own business here in Turner County as a farmer. I've just watched our roads in our community and around the county go down. I'm always on all of them, whether it's paved roads or dirt roads, and they're not getting any better. They're getting in worse shape. They're not getting scraped timely enough. They're not getting scraped often enough. The edges are not getting mowed, and because of that, it's built up so much we can't pull the ditches. I mean, it's just getting worse and worse. About this time last year, I called on Dana to ask her about mowing some of the limbs that are up high, coming down the dirt roads, the canopy that's overhanging, tearing up our semis, tearing up our equipment, and it still hasn't got done to this day. That was over a year ago. I mean, just stuff like that just falling by the wayside. As far as I know, we got 2 machines that can do that. They got the little excavators with the mulching options on them or whatever. back in July, I called Brad of this year and asked him to come scrape the dirt road. They got to it a month later in August. Alright? Since they scraped it on August 13th, it has not been scraped yet again. I mean, doesn't sound like much, but a month and a half, I've been told we can scrape dirt roads in this county every 2 weeks. The whole county. We can scrape the whole county in 2 weeks. And mine ain't getting hit but maybe 3 times a year. And they're just going down. I mean, we got water running across several of the dirt roads in a lot of spots. And, I mean, they just don't drain good. I mean, they're almost scraping them flat and not even, if we can scrape them flat, that's fine, but I mean, just having embankments. We'll just come out of the dirt road and hit the embankment and come back down in the dirt road. But we're just not doing any kind of good job as far as maintaining our dirt roads. Paved roads are the same way. You see a lot of paved roads that are always growed up. You break down on the side of the paved road, or even with me when I'm driving up down this paved road with tractors, you're in the grass knee high. You know, if you want to get out and walk your dog or do anything in the community, I mean, in outside of the city, you're walking in just knee high grass everywhere. They're not being maintained. I don't know why they're not being maintained and mowed on a timely basis, but they're just not. You know, really, it's sad to see, because it used to be maintained better than this. I used to remember having to, you know, drive down dirt roads and be complaining that they would pull the ditches, and there'd be so much crud in the dirt roads. You don't have to complain anymore, because there's never pulled the ditches. I mean, the water literally just comes out of the ditches and runs down the dirt road. I don't know if it's an equipment problem, an employee problem. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a problem. We also have a problem with wildlife as far as, like beavers. I know everybody takes it for granted, but we used to have a guy in the county, and you can hire him about every 5 or 10 years, and they'll come around and they'll clean up all the wildlife. But they have a problem. They stop up our rivers and our dams and break our dams. And I mean, every time we catch a big rainy season, you'll see them put up a sign down there on Denham Road. It says possible water over road, and it just lives there. And it's because Hat Creek is stocked up with beaver. And it's got it so stocked up, it's got water all back on my property, right there on Bussy Road. Hat Creek just stays stocked up with water. You used to graze cattle all the way down to the fence line. You can't even tell there's a fence line there anymore. It's all the way it seems like it's wetland and marsh, and it's not. The man that owned it before us 20 years ago ran cattle all the way down there. But it's stocked up with wildlife, and we don't do anything about it anymore. We just let them take it over. And it's not right that we're not seeing about the different things in our county that we need to see about. I mean, I don't know, we used to hire a trapper. Don't know why we don't do that anymore. A couple of parties have occurred in the last couple of months, if y'all not aware. I live on the west side of the county, 32 West, like you're going towards Leesburg, about 5 miles out on the right. There was a party back after the 4th of July, somewhere around the first or second week in July. There was about 1,500 people that were invited to a 3,000 square foot house. You don't fit inside a 3,000 square foot house, 1,500 people. They had cars parked all up and down the highway, state highway. All right, 1.5 miles, 2 miles long, cars parked all up and down it like it was going to the bandbox in Nashville when I was like a teenager. What it was like. They had traffic blocked, people just blaring the music, dancing in thongs. I know people got it on video. I mean, just on top of their cars in the middle of the state highway. Certain roads were blocked. Liberty Road was blocked. Raines Road was blocked. God forbid, if we need emergency services to go down to any one of those roads while this party's going on, but they wouldn't have got there. Those people wouldn't have got help. Nothing was being done about it. The law was called. Sheriff's Department, 2 different sources. I've been told the Sheriff's Department was told them there was nothing they could do about that size of a crowd. I don't understand that. I mean, state highway, maybe we should call the governor and get National Guard in here. I don't understand how we have somebody that has a party and we can't break it up and bust it up. That doesn't make any sense to me. If it's on private property, it's one thing, but if it's on a state highway and we can't move people that are blocking traffic and blocking roads, that's a problem. Months later, had another party, same deal. not even a month later. This time a car went in her swimming pool. It happened. Cameras was out there the next day with 2 wreckers picking a car up out of a swimming pool. I mean, I'm not against people having a good time on their own property, but it shouldn't interfere with traffic and emergency services and anything else we need in this county. And it needs to be handled, needs to be taken care of. Law enforcement should be able to handle that kind of situation. If they can't, they need to figure out some way to handle the situation. I don't get that either. I don't understand, I really just don't understand the road situation more than anything. I ranted about all this other, but the road situation is a problem. I don't know if we need higher wages for people that work in the road department. I don't know what the answer is, but if you get the proper people with the proper skills that have been trained to operate these motor graders and these mowers and these mulchers, I don't see why it can't be done. I mean, I don't think we need to spend more money on more equipment. I've heard we got tons of equipment. I think we just need to get proper talent in the seat. And I just disgruntled it's not there. That's really all I got. I'm just a lot of ranting, but I appreciate y'all listening to me anyway. I'd like to see it addressed.
Drew, we've actually, me and the road superintendent had a conversation today about the rotation on the scraping the roads, and we're gonna get on a 7 to 10 day rotation.
I appreciate it.
Try to get to every road in the county in that amount of time. Now, you know, weather and different things can hinder that some, but we're gonna try to work towards, that's our goal, and I think that'll eliminate a lot of problems. We've also bought a sprayer that we're going to spray the ditches with, kill the vegetation in the ditches where when we pull the ditch, you ain't got all that green stuff, you know, to deal with. You'll have some dry stuff, that way we can roll the dirt back over a lot easier than you can with green stuff, so that we're working towards it.
Well, I appreciate y'all working towards it. I mean, it needs, I mean, they need crowning and pulling.
But we where we got a problem, but we're gonna get it.
And I mean, I can show you some dirt roads, it's trees in the ditches, it's not just grass and vegetation, but you're right, I appreciate that. That's good.
And we just bought a new mulcher, unfortunately the other one was broke. But that's been one of my complaints is, you know, I can drive the dirt roads and see the overhang canopy issues, and when you talk $1 million pieces of equipment going down the road, it's a problem. So we're well aware that we need to address that and get on a schedule, so that the roads, when we first moved here 30+ years ago, we knew our roads were gonna get scraped every 2 weeks. And like you, I don't know the last time the roads out in my area were scraped, and that's a problem for everyone, because if we're all getting the calls, and what we're doing right now is firefighting, we're not actually maintaining.
Right.
And we need to maintain.
And I'm an old man. I mean, I'm not a young kid that's reckless, and I'm not a real old elderly person either. But the elderly and the children, they have a bigger problem than I do with it. I know how to navigate some of these dirt roads when they get in bad shape. I mean, I've just been around the block a day or two, but I mean, they just need work. And I appreciate any help y'all can give us on it.
We've also talked with some legislators on the money we get from LMIG. We get $300,000, $500,000 a year on LMIG to pave roads, but they won't let us use rock instead of, we've been trying to use that rock, buy rock with half that money to put on the dirt roads, but they really won't allow it. Because you have to do the whole road. But they're supposedly, I think one guy from DOT said it's okay. We just have to tell us, we just wanna put it in spots. So we can do that, and the board will vote to put rocks out, and I think they will, instead of paving a little bit. We can put rocks in a lot of spots where it's, we can afford to buy more rocks to put out. But this rock's expensive.
Rocks are expensive. I mean, every time you see a dump truck down the road, I mean, it used to be $1,000 about 5 years ago. Now it's probably $1,300-$1,400 for a dump truck load of rock. And it doesn't go very far. I mean, I bought it to put around my shop and all. I'm very well expensive. I mean, it's very expensive. A lot of these clay balls on these hills, some of these dirt roads. I mean, I just don't even travel when it rains. I mean, I just know better. I mean, you're gonna lose it in the ditch, and then you call a wrecker, he's going like, well, I can't get there if you didn't get through it. You know, I mean, but people just need to better travel dirt roads. I mean, just, and the paved roads as well. Thank y'all, appreciate y'all's time.
Next is Miss Christy Casimiro from the library.
I'll be 50 in a week.
I'm Christy Casimiro, and I am your librarian here in town, and I wanted to say thank you all so much for your continued support and for your increase in your contribution this year. As you know, a library is only as vibrant as we can be with our funding, and we're so grateful for all the increases that we got across the board. We now have a full-time librarian again here in Turner County, and that has resulted in an increase in our hours. We are now open till 7 o'clock on Mondays and till 6 o'clock Tuesday through Friday. In the first 21 days of September, we had over 130 people come into the library after 5 p.m. And we regularly have families come in for the parents who work with their kids, and they're so grateful for the extra hours. So it's been a huge win to have the extended hours here. I wanted to give a financial update. So in 2021, our fund balance was $29,000, and our current fund balance is $124,000, and that does not include SPLOST. We are required to have a fund balance of 6 months worth of expenses, and this is 13 months worth of expenses in the bank, so that is incredible. We continually apply for grants. I've once again applied for the Pilpro grant, which I won last year for $1,200 of kids' books. We've been awarded the Irwin EMC grant for the 3rd year in a row. I've recently applied for a large $10,000 math grant from the American Rural and Small Library Association. And if we win that, it's going to be a really big deal for Turner County. We find out in December. We are also looking at using our SPLOST funds with a Libraries Transforming Communities grant, where we would work with schools to figure out how we can better serve the disadvantaged and disabled children and how we can help serve them in the library. I'm meeting with the special ed teachers next week, and we've got them coming to the library for a field trip before we're open for 2 hours one day later this month, and I'm looking forward to working with them. We also have a member of our regional library staff going into the schools every Wednesday for 2 hours. They read to the pre-K kids, and then every month we have one of the grades come and visit us for a field trip. We've already had 6th and 5th graders, or 5th and 4th graders. This month we have 3rd graders, and they absolutely love it. The kids have a great time, and some of the parents even come and attend the field trip with them, so that's wonderful. We have received a $2,000 donation from the sheriff's Say No to Drugs campaign, and with that we were able to reinstate hotspots. So we now have hotspots that residents can borrow and have the internet at home. So people can borrow those for 2 weeks at a time and then renew them again for 2 weeks. Then you can bring it in, and if there's not a waiting list, then you can check it out again. So that's wonderful. In the last 2 years since I started working here, we've increased our active library card holders 25%. So 2 years ago, you had about 1,095 active library card users, and now there are closer to 1,400. So that's incredible. Our summer reading program was phenomenal. 2 years ago, you had 60 people here doing the summer reading program. Last year, there were 75, and this year we had just over 200 people registered for the summer reading program. We had 1,500 people in the library in June, and slightly less than that in July and August. We had a total of 40 programs this summer and 700 attendees. I mean, that is just amazing for a community of this size. There are regularly people come in and they show our calendar of events. We have 5 programs a week, and then we also have regularly scheduled programs a week for little kids 0 to 5, for adults, for seniors, for teenagers. We have a core group of homeschoolers who come in now every week, and they do crafts with Miss Tanisha, and they learn educational things with her. But people come into the library from North Georgia and from around Atlanta, and I'm not bashing other libraries. I'm all about being positive for all libraries, but we have more going on here in Turner County than a lot of these much bigger municipalities, so it's pretty incredible. Our meeting room use has exploded, so people are coming into the library. You've had more than 200% increase in meeting room use in the last year. So organizations are using it, tutors are using it, families are using it. It's just great. And, I think that's everything. Yeah, so I just wanted to let y'all know that the library is going amazing. Thanks to you all. Thank you so much for your support. And I'd like to invite everyone to our fall festival. It's on Friday, October 24th, from 4 to 6 o'clock. There's free snowbiz, and the police will be there with Rocky the Canine, and there's gonna be all kinds of fun stuff for adults and kids. So, that was all. And if you have any questions ever, let me know. Thank you, Christy. Questions? Yeah.
I get having free internet at the library, but you're giving it to people to take home.
That's right, and it's got the same, security parameters on it, so it's filtered, they can't access any,
Okay.
nothing more
That's where I was going.
G or PG.
General discussion, item 1, discuss a policy to address damaged equipment vehicles on county roads. So, this was really as a result of several different, occurrences, but one specific one where an individual's vehicle, their vehicle was damaged, and I think we need to talk about collectively how we deal with that, what's our liability, if we have gaps in our policies or ordinances that speak to that. So really, it's just up for discussion on how we need to address it, and your thoughts on it, and specifically legally, Jamar, what liability do we have in those instances when people have issues on the roads?
My favorite answer is it depends. So it depends on whether or not we do actually have liability. As you guys are all aware, the county enjoys unity for certain acts or certain commissions or even certain things that may happen within the county perimeters. It depends on each situation. Each situation is fact specific. So I cannot in good faith tell you that yes, you'll be responsible for everything that happens on this road. Now, just to use an example, Mr. Hobby just came up and spoke about his, I believe you said your trucks were damaged by some of the overhang.
Yes.
That's something that we might could possibly be liable for. Because now it's giving us notice to let us know that, hey, there's overhang, it needs to be addressed, and it could be construed that we have actual notice now, so we need to do something about that. So it's just each situation is going to be different, but it's always best to go ahead, once you have information about situations like Mr. Hobby's, to go ahead and take the proactive steps to fix those issues, so you don't have anything coming down the line that says, well, you guys knew about this, I called Commissioner Whidden, I called Commissioner Calhoun, I gave them notice about it, and it still happened. That's where we run into some issues, so I think it's a good proactive measure to go ahead, as soon as we know about these things, to go ahead and get those things repaired, fixed, altered, however they need to be, unless it's something that you bring to me and I say, okay, we're clear that this is not something that we are responsible for.
My thoughts, and Drew too. Drew sees the deck up overhang, so if you try to go under, that's your fault, not. So if we start doing that, we're fixing to be paying for a lot of equipment. Dirt roads have potholes in them. Things happen, I mean, we're scraping, I thought, as fast as we can. But if a rain comes and washes a ditch out and we don't know about it, he don't know about it during the night, the next morning somebody runs into it, we don't know. Now, if they say, hey, the road's washed out, they go out there and put signs up and somebody still runs into it, or they run into it before the sign's put, we're on the way to fix it. But, so, that's gonna be a real gray area. But,
Always agree.
yeah, so, but what we're saying is, as a general rule, if we need a policy saying,
Travel at your own risk kind of a thing. So what?
that's what I've been told by lawyers is, dirt roads, you're traveling at your own risk. We are not responsible for anything.
I just think we have situations where we get a phone call from someone, and they've talked to, let's say, Brad, and didn't get the answer they wanted, then they call me, and got a different answer because I see it differently, and then they call Nick and get a different answer again. It's not that any of us are wrong. What is the best route to handle that, to ensure we address and protect the county, but at the same time address the needs of the citizen? You know, that that we have to balance both of those needs.
I would advise you all to take heed of whatever the complaint is, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, listen to your constituents, but moving forward, you should have them contact legal department if they feel like they've been wronged or something has happened, and then I'll be the bad guy and tell them, hey, this is something that we're not liable for, or, of course, I'm not going to give up my position and say, yeah, we're gonna pay for it, but at the same time, trying to have 3 different or 5 different, opinions on something, and, I mean, if you put 5 lawyers in the room, you're gonna get 5 different answers, so try to have 5 different commissioners try to tell this person, okay, well, we may be responsible for this, or we may not be responsible for this. It just leads to confusion. The best thing to do is just tell them to contact the legal department, and we'll take it from there,
You're saying go case by case.
case by case.
So we now know that if that occurs, we need to just reach out to Jay and, you know, let him advise us. I just don't want us to put ourselves in a situation where we have financial liability, but at the same time, I think there are instances where we do need to
Yeah,
address
yeah,
this.
if we know there's a problem, and we don't do nothing about it, it's our fault.
We need to deal with it. So, okay. Any other comments, thoughts on that item? Okay,
You're gonna get a bunch of phone calls.
well, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but at least we're consistent in the way we approach it. Discuss board appointment Ms. Janice Massey to the library board. I have talked to Ms. Janice, and she is agreeable to staying on the library board. Is there anyone else that y'all might have thoughts about?
I'm good with it.
Okay. Number 3, discuss purchasing equipment for public works. You have a quote in front of you. Last year, we had talked about and agreed to deal with some of our roads that have lime rock issues, where it's a constant state of disrepair because we're dealing with lime rock. This was that hammer that we talked about getting. Unfortunately, I don't think at any point we actually voted to do that. So our options are to rent the equipment, which would be about $4,300 a week to get what we need, or to purchase it to address the various roads that have this issue. And there are several roads that we know of that need to be addressed. So really, we need to make a decision on whether we wanna purchase it. And then if we get all of the issues addressed, there's no reason we couldn't sell this item at some point. But right now, we need to decide whether we're gonna buy the hammer or we're gonna rent it. And I think it's cost prohibitive to rent it, because it's $43.23 a week. It's over $10,000 a month.
We've only rented it, what, a couple times, or how many?
We've been at it one time.
One time, and on High Hill Road.
Albertson Road.
Albertson Road.
So we just need to decide what we want to do. I know I've got several roads in my district, I know you've got a few.
Well, I do, but
And so,
we can't even ditch sometimes, so I
I'm
need to
just-
buy another piece of equipment, and if,
we can rent it, but we need to address with the lime rock, cause, you know, for example, on Mac there, we pull dirt on it, and then it rains and the dirt washes away, we've got big dangerous ruts where the lime rock is, so, and that's just one road I can think of off the top of my head, so I don't have a preference either way.
yeah.
I just think we need to do something, we can't keep kicking this game down.
Is this a piece of equipment, or is this a attachment?
It's an attachment.
It's an attachment.
You say it was $4,800 a week?
$43.23
You
a
have to-
week.
You have to rent the excavator and the attachment. They won't just rent you the attachment.
So what it is, we get it rented, then a dang, something happens, and we gotta go work on put a pipe in somewhere else, or we don't really get to use it the whole time, is what I think's happening. And that's what we're scared will happen, too.
Well, it'd be about 8 weeks if you rented it.
Yeah.
So, could you get the work done in less than 8 weeks that needs doing, or? I mean, I don't know how,
wouldn't buy no used one of these things.
We ain't gonna be able to stay on it for 8 weeks straight. You'd have to turn it in and rent it
Well,
again.
you'd spend over 8 weeks, I mean, my God, you're talking 30 miles a buy it.
Yeah.
You're over. We just need to think about it and see what we wanna do next week.
Right,
Because we can't keep pushing this down the road. We've got roads that have issues that need to be addressed, and I'd rather do it, fix them properly, and not have to keep going back. Cause that's another reason we're not getting other things done, is we're constantly going back and dealing with these roads
Can I say
and not
something?
fixing them.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Is there a possibility to hire it done, so you're not having to rent it or own it? You hire it done, you're only doing a few roads in certain spots. Hire it done, they come in when it's ready to be done, and they do it and get out of here. Probably cheaper than $30,000, I would think.
Dustin, can we hire someone to do it?
I can check with somebody how much it charges for
Yeah.
it.
Well, I know of at least 4 roads that I can think of off the top of my head in my district. I know Nick's got several.
Oh, I got several, but what I was saying is, when we put this piece of equipment on, we're gonna take it off the sidearm mower. So then, is that the one you're
You'll
putting?
take it off the wheel.
So then we're not
Mulching.
No.
mulching, so that's where
This time of year.
hiring it done is a,
So anyway, y'all think about it, and if you can let us know next week, Dustin, what you plan on that. Thank you, Drew, that's a great idea. All right, item 4, discuss the interactive digital zoning map and contract for Turner County. So this is with the SGRC. It allows us to layer on various aspects, everything from utilities to zoning. It helps us, and they want to add an enterprise opportunity zone layer, which would allow us to actually give federal tax credit to businesses that go into the enterprise, the opportunity zones that the federal government started, so we could identify things like that. I think it's a good idea. I believe it has value to us. And what it does is those opportunity zones are actually visible to people outside the county. So if they're looking to start and do businesses, they can see where we have those opportunity zones, whether it's inside the city or outside the city, for commercial or industrial.
how much it cost?
So I think this is,
I just saw $1,000.
yeah, it's not much. She said, it's like, I wanna say it's 200.
Well, I mean, it ain't really expensive.
It is not, yeah, it's 1,000.
Regina's good with it, she likes it, she had it in Cook County and Tipp County.
Yeah, she says it's actually better than what she had, cause they've added more aspects to it, so I think it's something we should really seriously consider doing. It's a nominal cost, and it gives us some value.
She contacted me about it, and I suggested that she come to the next meeting and she can explain it better.
Yeah, she came today.
She did, she talked about it today.
At the comp plan.
I think the opportunity zones was what really interested me the most. I mean, other parts are absolutely valuable in terms of us understanding how we have things zoned and where we have vision for the growth of Turner County. But, if we can attract outside businesses by having this map available for people to see, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, it lets everybody know if it's zoned agricultural or they can do something,
Do
they can
something.
put a house there
That's correct.
without having to go through. Is it gonna be Sycamore and Ashburn also, that it'll do them all?
Entire county. Well, yes.
And Rebecca?
In fact, they worked on their maps today, to look at, adjusting what they wanted to do. I think, Rebecca added their park radius and added their plans, some other things, so we all took a look at our maps to update them. So is there any other comments?
I'm good.
Alright, chairman's comments, STS, where are we at with STS? The only thing that we had left was animal control. It was the only outlier on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get through the election and, what's that agreement we're trying to work on with the election? Lost. Trying to get that situated before we jump into this, but what I just read is we don't have to have it now till,
Right, they just changed, so if we want, we can hold off till 2027.
I like kicking the can down the road a little bit longer.
Well, we're not gonna get the animal control resolved by
They're
October.
not gonna do it.
But we need a plan, so this gives us time to kind of figure out what the county wants to do, so I'm in agreement that we need to definitely continue to have those conversations, but, work on it in 2026. That's just my thoughts. Any comments on that? Okay, and then the last is commissioners training, you're going to that, hopefully you've already talked to Latrice and scheduled for that, who's going, are you going?
I'm going. Anybody else know?
No, I won't.
So, I won't be at the next meeting, because I'm leaving Tuesday, because it starts at 8 o'clock Wednesday morning.
Okay, so you won't be here next week, okay.
Well,
We may have you call in.
Yeah. Well, I can't, yeah, I don't mind calling in, but, yes, I'll probably call in.
Good answer. All right, do we have any other public comments?
I'll stop at that.
What is the commissioner training on?
This is legislative leadership update. We'll vote on, one commissioner from each county will vote on the policies that we want to see. ACCG is our lobbyist, and they update, they fight stuff for us. But one thing, I don't remember what, I was reading it last night, we got like 11 policies, and we'll pick the top 5 and then top 3 for them to focus on, to get the legislators in January when they go into session, to get us more money. 911s, and new 911s coming up. LMIG, they're trying to get us, one of the big things I'm wanting to give us more money for paving and road projects, and that's what a lot of southern counties vote on, is the road
It
projects.
gives us a voice, the smaller counties.
Is
versus-
everybody up to speed on the commissioner training, or is that the reason why you're the only one going, or?
Okay, so it's not, there's
Alan's
different,
going.
It's 3 going.
I'm just asking.
yeah, so the training, this is on the legislative, there are other conferences where we have specific training tracks, so for example, all of us, well, Alan's not certified, but the rest of us have our core certification. And then, no, well, you've taken the basic class, but I mean, there's 9 classes we have done, and then there's specialty tracks, so we all have varied amounts of those specialty tracks. I think Brad's finished all of them, I've done 4, I don't know how many you've done of the 9.
Education,
But
yeah,
it's-
that's how to go.
it's-
It is good.
Yeah.
As much.
And it's in different tracks, so you have everything from economic development to public safety to revenue and finance. So you try to take classes in all of the different areas to help you understand the business being a commissioner.
What Brad's trying to say is a free meal.
He's going for the free food and the goodies. So, but we have a conference in the spring as well that we go to, and then it's training classes are on the front and the back end of that conference. Do we have a need for executive session?
Yes, we will.
We do, for,
Litigation, personnel.
Don't do-
I have a motion to
You
go
don't need-
in
you
for
don't need-
litigation,
do you want-
personnel, and real estate.
You wanna do public comments first,
Oh, public comment, sorry.
in case someone wanna leave?
Well, I just asked, I think there was, anybody, any public comments?
So I missed him, so.
Okay, that's fine, no worries, anybody have anything? Okay, okay, you got some comments for us, Nick?
I'm just gonna give y'all a little update on what's been going on the last couple of weeks. Last week was air conditioner week. The air conditioner in the judge's chamber went bad. So we moved the one from the old 911 building, we put a new AC there. Back when we were going to redo the building, and we decided to go another way with that. So we moved that air conditioner unit to the courthouse. So they up and going, the one in this particular building went out also. We got quotes, we couldn't go with the lowest quote because he couldn't get his parts for like 8 or 9 days to fix it. And so we didn't want these people to burn up, and there wasn't that much difference in the money. So this one, we got all the air conditioners fixed for the moment. We already talked about the equipment. Next week, we're going to start replacing the carpet in the annex building. We're going to use, Tim and, inmate labor to install it. we've got the carpet in, it costs $4,900. We're gonna do the foyer, both hallways, we're not gonna do the two offices on the other side, but everything else in there would be done, which is terrible, it needed to have been done years ago.
We've been talking about it.
So, I met with Mercer yesterday, two of their representatives came down and we did a long walk through the building about everything they wanted changed, which is a long list, but, I told them we had a limited amount of money to work with and we don't have to make it work, well, they're gonna have to make it work for what we got. So, they wanna replace all the countertops. Nothing wrong with the countertops, but it don't fit their color scheme, which, you know, we've had several discussions about that and hadn't done yet. But I did get a countertop guy to come in today and he went through and measured everything, he's gonna get us a quote on doing it. I also met with a painter, this afternoon, and, they're gonna give us a quote on all the interior painting. The bids on the outside work have already been sent out, so, I think we got most of those back, there may be an opener or two that haven't come in yet. So that's about all I got.
So have we gotten anything in writing that commits them to being here before we spend all this money?
We're doing the MOU, so that's in the works. Yeah, we ain't gonna write a check till that's done.
Perfect. Okay. Any questions? No? Okay, so do I have a motion to go into executive session for personnel, litigation, and real estate?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? So we're in executive session.
Thank you, you didn't speak to her.
Nice to meet you, John. It's Don, right?
What's up with the house?
We did boys.
Lives in the county, right? He's in the county.
Are they doing your building?
How you doing?
We didn't tax without representation. This is what we fought about in 1776, but you know, I
Dig out.
too. I hate for you guys to do, 'cause I know it's bad over there.